Happy holidays once again. I'm Emily Garrison and I am home for Christmas. Now for the past several years, there's been a tradition of mine making biscuits and gravy for Christmas morning. So I thought I'd share my recipe with you. This is actually a slightly tweaked recipe that I got from my grandmother, and she amazed me because when she made her dough, she actually would just open the big canister of the flour and make the dough right inside, lift it out, and somehow not mess up anything. Now, I am not that good, but I have managed over the years to get where I'm very good at making fluffy biscuits. Now, I've gone ahead and made this dough, but we've given you the recipe, and I will tell you that to me, the trick is to balance out the Crisco and the butter. I do half and half because I found that one way it didn't hold together well and the other way it was a little bit too heavy. So I mix the two and that has worked out very well for me. But you can do your own if you would rather do all butter or all Crisco. It's up to you. That's just my preference. And I also put a tiny bit of sugar in the dough because I like really peppery gravy. So if you don't like your gravy quite as peppery as I do, then you can back off on the pepper a little bit. Now here we've got our dough. Now I will tell you that to me the most important thing when you're rolling out dough is to get flour on everything. Put flour on your surface, get flour on your hands, and you get flour on your rolling pin. And that way nothing sticks together. Now when I'm doing biscuits, I actually roll these out once and then I turn it. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out the first time. And then I'm just going to actually fold this over. Need a little more flour. It's just essential to not have everything stick together. Now what I found is through the years when I do it this way, it creates a nice little crease in the middle of your biscuit, and when it rises it actually will come apart, so it's real easy to split. Just a little secret for you. And you can use a can if you want to, if you have soup cans lying around and you don't have a biscuit cutter. I have one of those sets that has a zillion different sizes, and this is my favorite size. Now you'll see that little crease? It's right there. And you won't notice it as much if I don't point it out, but when it rises, it will make it very easy to split open. So if you're going to add butter and jam instead of doing the gravy, then it's very easy. So there's your biscuit, and we're going to put a bunch of those in the tray, put them in the oven, and work on our gravy. When you're making gravy, just like any good old Southern recipe, just remember there's a certain amount of judgment involved. The amounts that I've given you for the gravy could be adjusted a little bit either way depending on exactly how your temperature is or how you want your gravy. Basically, take that as a jumping off point and know that the thinner you want the gravy, the more milk, and the thicker the gravy, the more flour or the less milk. So all you have to do if your gravy's coming out a little too thick, add a little more milk. It's easy. If you need to thicken it up, add a little more flour. It's really, really easy. Just give it a minute when you add the flour at first to do the roux, because if you don't give it a minute to absorb, you're gonna go a little bit too far and you'll end up needing to add and add and add. But here we've got a gravy that is ready to go except for our pepper. Now, I really love this bourbon smoked pepper. This comes from Kentucky, and they take bourbon staves and they smoke it. And I told you I like mine really peppery. I'm not big on salt, but I like a lot of pepper in my gravy. And we used mild sausage today, and sometimes I use spicy sausage. If I do that, I don't like as much pepper because not everybody likes it as hot as I do. But this, we're just going to get that really good smoky flavor from the pepper. We're going to blend that in. I'll put one more little sprinkle. And then we're just going to serve that on top of our biscuits. When your biscuits come out, as promised, see how they break right down the center? No effort whatsoever. Now I made these a little bit on the thin side. It is up to you how thick you want to make your biscuits. Here we go, just right down the middle. Nice, fluffy, great on their own. But I really love the addition of this peppery gravy. So a little bit of sweetness from the biscuits, a little bit of spice, I think I'm going to serve gravy on this one and maybe do some butter and jelly over here. And to complete my Christmas morning, we have got the blood orange mimosa, which has your bubbly and your blood orange juice mixed right in. It even looks Christmassy, doesn't it? Makes it feel a little bit more festive and tastes delicious with that because it's got a little sweetness from the juice once again. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you back next week for Around the World in 80 Bottles. Cheers!